Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. Today we are going to learn about the basic concept regarding the synchronous and then the asynchronous programming over here using the Dart and the Flutter. So let us get started over here. First of all, I just created a simple application over here, which is of the empty application, if you can see over here. And once you run that application, you will see just a hello world over here. So what we'll do over here is we are going to create a new folder over here, and let's just call this one as a scrn screen over here. And let's go and create a new file, and we'll just call this one as the task scrn screen.dart file. So simple task screen, and I'll just go and create the if stateful. Let's create the stateful widget over here, and that should give us that one over here. So we got the simple task over here. And now what we'll do is we'll just go and add some buttons over here. And once we have that, we are good to go. So let's go and take a look over here. Now we have the task one. I guess we have the outlined button. I guess that this doesn't look quite good over here. So what we will do is filled button. I guess that's will be much better, I guess. So we got the task one over here. So what we'll do is we'll go and create our first function over here, and let us try to understand the synchronous programming first of all, and then we'll move on to the asynchronous. So let's go down over here, and I guess I'll create outside of this particular class over here. Or okay, so let's just go and create below this one. I guess it will be much better if you go and add the new folder, and we'll just call it as utils over here. So utils utils, and I'll go and create the new file. We'll just call this one as the let's say functions functions.the.dart file. And here we are going to create the function that's going to return us the int type with let's say simpl simple task one. And this is going to run something simple tasks. So we'll just go and say the bug debug print over here. And now we have the task one, and also I just go and create the task two over here. And this is also going to be the same function. That's just go and replace the name, and that should be fine. So let's say this is off to the 200 over here. So we have the task one and task two function over here, and we'll go to this particular screen. And now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to just go and debug debug print over here. And let's go and say that the we'll just say rts task start is started over here. So this is going to say that we have started the task over here. And now we are going to call the task one over here. So simple task, I guess it's the simp simple task one. And also we have the simple task two over here. And then we'll just go and copy this one and just go and paste it below the task. We'll just say the ended over here. So now we have the two simple functions over here, which is just going to do some calculation for us, and it will return us the value. And here we can just go and grab that particular value. So let's say var a, which is will be of equals to the simple task one, and then the var b will be of equals to particularly this one over here. So what we'll do over here is we'll just go and copy this one, and let's go and print out that particular value over here. So that will be of the task one and task two. So we'll just say task one, and then the two complet completed with value of, we are just going to calculate that to value over here, a plus the b over here. So now let's go and run this one. And let's open up the terminal a bit bigger over here. Now just go and click this one. Now you can see that we have the task started, task this is coming from here, the first one, and then the so task 1 started and the task 1 ended, task 2 started and then the task 2 ended, and task 1 and 2 completed with the value of this particular value. So this is the combination of both task 1 and 2, and then the task ended finally. So what this is a simple function we you may be already familiar, right? So this is a synchronous programming, so it is not the asynchronous. This is how the synchronous programming runs. So you execute the code line by line. So first it's going to execute this one, second it's going to execute this one, and then third, and then it's going to execute the line by line over here. So here we don't have an option to, like, I want to um, execute this one, and I want to, like, go and get some value once it is getting from the API, or once it is uploading some file. I just want to go and completely run this to code below over here. So we don't have an option basically over here using using a synchronous programming, right? It's not the asynchronous. So if you want to have an option, something like, okay, so I want to go and get that particular function running, and I want to go and also get that particular function running. So once the function is running, I just want to go and complete some of the my tasks below over here, and later once this particular task is running, and once we get the return back the value from, let's say, the API, or maybe some reading a file or uploading a file, then we are going to get that particular value back over here. So let's see how we can do that using the asynchronous programming over here. And for that, what we'll do is, let's go back over here, and what we'll do is we'll copy this particular code from here. So let's just go and add some let's say const of the size box over here, and we'll just say the height over here. Let's just give a 16 pixel over here, and I'm just going to copy that and paste it below over here. And now I'm just go and copy this particular line of code from here and paste it below over here. And once we have that, this will be of the, let's say, task 2 over here, and here we are going to run the code using the asynchronous. So let's go back over here to the function, and we'll just copy this particular 2 function from here, and I'm just going to paste it below it over here, and I'll just say simple task 1 with the future over here, so future future over here, and also this will be of the future future. And once we have the future, what we have to do is we have to wrap this one with the future future. So the return type will be of the future of let's say int over here. And let's go and have this one over here, and also replace it one over here. And what I have to do over here is I have to make this one as the async function. So now this is returning some value. So if it doesn't return any value, so you can just remove this. So let's say if it doesn't return anything from here, I can just say void over here, and then I can remove this one and remove this one as well, so it doesn't give you any of the error. So let's see if I just say async over here, so that should be fine. And if I just go and just say void over here, that should be completely fine. But since we are returning a value over here, what we need to do is we need to mark this one as a asynchronous function over here with the type of the future, and the type is of the int over here. So once we have all of this, we are good to go. So what we'll do, we'll go back to our task screen, and once we copy this one will be of the future over here, and then we have the future over here. So now you get some errors over here because a and b each of the type is of the future type of int as well as the future type of int. So now what you can do over here is either there is multiple ways that you can actually receive this particular value. So first we will see using the one option that is called the then over here, and this is going to register a callback to be called when the function completes. So this is the one. So what we require is we'll go and call this one, since this is a future, right? So future means that something like you can say that it's going to return some value in the future, right? So you trigger some function over here and then you just forget it, and later once it returns a value and it's going to get that particular value, so it will remember in the event loop, it's going to remember that, hey, I need to come back over here because there is some value that's going to be returned over here. So what we need to do over here is once we get that particular value, we are just going to simply go and update, or currently we don't have any state to update, but we'll just go and print that particular value over here. So let's say the task one ended, uh, task one ended with a value of the let's say we just got that one as the dollar and then the value. So we got this particular value over here as well, and we'll do the same thing over here. I'll just copy this one over here and then we'll just go and put it over here as well. So let's just go and arrange the intent over here. So the task 2 which will be ended with a value of that particular value as well, and now I don't have to get this particular value over here, so just go and remove this one. And now what we'll do is the task 1 and task 2 completed with the value. So let's just go and remove this one. We'll just go and say that we'll just go and run this particular code. So let's go and hard restart the application, and we need to see the log over here. And for that, let's go and run the task 2 over here. So now you can see the task started, right? So this is obviously over here, and the task 1 started and then the task 1 ended, task 2 started and then the task 2 ended. So that is over to this particular function call over here. So I guess it should be of the task task, right? So ta and then the sk task over here. So we have the task 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 over here. So task task, so ta and then the sk task. So it's going to call that particular function, so 1 and 2. So and then it's going to task 1 and task 2 completed over here, and then the task ended. So now you can see a bit difference over here, right? So if you go back to this particular function, you'll see that these two, the line of the code is executed first carefully. You'll see that the task 1 ended with the value of this one, and then the task 2 ended with the value of this one. So which is of this print out, it's going to print out after this one over here. So now you can see this is the power of the asynchronous programming over here. So if it is running the code in the synchronous order, so this is going to execute, 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 and this is going to execute. So it is still running in a synchronous order, but what we are doing over here is the asynchronous. So now you can see that it is going to call this particular function over here, and it's going to do some job, or it's going to get a API data or calculate something. So it's going to do something at the, let's say, asynchronous manner, and then it's going to later on return the value for us, and then it's going to, once that it has the value, it's going to go and print out for us. So this is something like you just call the function and you just leave it there, right? So you don't have to wait this particular function to complete. You can move on to the next function call or next line of code without worrying its particular value, and it's going to run that particular function of or piece of a code, and later once it is ready, you are going to get back that particular value over here. So that is the asynchronous manner, right? So you fire some program or you just fire some code over here, and it's going to run it later and returning us some values over here. So you fire something and you forget it, but later it's going to come back once the value is ready. So the similar thing happened over here. So we just run that particular code line by or in order or the synchronous way, but once the value was ready for us, it's come back with that particular value and printed out and run the code that we have written over here. So that's the basic of this particular synchronous and then the asynchronous programming over here. and later on we'll see much more stuff over here. So in the next part of the video, we are going to learn the some of the more concept on the asynchronous programming. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.